So in this quick video, I wanted to discuss the 5 key elements of returning to sport, returning to play, or just returning to your pre-injury activity. So number 1 here is that pain does not mean the absence of injury. So this is not your only marker. Oh, I'm out of pain, I can just crack on. There is still a huge healing process that has got to happen beyond just pain, being pain-free, in order to get back to doing what you were doing beforehand. So whether that's returning to the gym, returning to sport, the absence of pain does not mean the absence of injury. Number 2, strength and balance are vital when returning from injury. So again, we're talking about, for many people might not have an idea of how strong they were pre-injury. So trying to get to pre-injury condition might be difficult to measure. But one way of being able to measure this might be to measure off your other side. So taking a shoulder press, for example, can I do the same with my injured side as I can with my uninjured side? There are, of course, lots and lots of different ways that we can measure this specific to your injury sites, whether that be upper, lower body, hamstrings, glutes, quads, shoulder rotator cuff, pec, etc., etc. Number 3 would be load tolerance. What feels great right here, right now, might kick something else off real nasty further down the line. So it's really important that we start to measure and track how we feel, how pain is, how our range of motion is in those hours and days after your activity. Because what real progress is being able to make repeatable efforts without the flare-ups. If we're doing activity and then we're needing to have 3-4 days off to recover, then that's telling us that we can't cope with that load. Therefore, we need to adapt this to maybe again push forward. So we might need to come back to be able to push on again. Number 4 can so easily and often get overlooked, and it's confidence in your movement. So how do you feel up here? Sometimes we can push that to one side. But when we're recovering from injury, and not just recovering, but getting back to that activity that perhaps caused the injury in the first place, then the mental and confidence really plays that massive part. And if we've not got the confidence in our body to be able to do a movement, whatever that is, then that's where we're going to start compensating. So not only are we going to cause further injury, but we're going to cause additional pain and unnecessary discomfort around the injury site. And then last, but by no means least, is does your rehab look like your activity? So if the shoulder press is the one thing that you've been unable to do, perhaps that's the one thing that actually caused the injury in the first place, then don't just think that by carrying out a load of band work is going to solve it. Band work, toe tap, shoulder taps, etc., might be part of the journey. But before you can come back into the gym, return to your sport and go full throttle, your rehab and your training has got to look like that activity in the first place. So by all means, you can do all your bridges, you can do all your clams and all of that before you go back into a deadlift. But you're never fully repaired and you can't fully return to activity until you've done that activity. So yes, it might have a far lighter weight, but it's still got to be the exercise that was the problem in the first place. So before you think you can just go in full throttle and return to where you came from, again, making sure that you're exposing yourself to the activity, but at a lower grade intensity. So whether that's lesser reps, lighter weight, all of the above, and then grading it back up to where you came from. So there we have it. 5 dead simple concepts or ideas to think about when you're returning back from injury. The big one there is making sure that you are not just thinking that being pain-free is healed and ready to go. Start thinking bigger picture, start making sure that you can start really do the stuff that caused the injury in the first place before we just go back in full throttle. Because ultimately, you're going to need to spend less time on the treatment table and more time doing the things that you love.